Auspicious greetings. How's everyone? I hope you all had a great week. Welcome to our weekly Communities of Practice Sunday check-in session, a half hour of Dharma, reflection, and community connections. If you are a new friend to our community, welcome, and know that if you are unsure or have any questions about our practices and topics, we're all here to help. And if you're a regular, welcome back. It is customary for people in Australia to begin any meetings by acknowledging the custodians of their land. So in the spirit of reconciliation, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we walk and reside. And I pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. I also acknowledge and pay my respects to the traditional custodians of the various lands on which you stand. A little bit about our check-in sessions. The check-in sessions have been developed by our Communities of Practice team and the entire community with the purpose of developing a reflective practice in response to our changing world. Guided by humanistic Buddhism, we would like to help each other cultivate our practices and build memorable friendships. For the past 2 weeks, our good friend Katya took us on a journey of how we resist and the habits we do. Today, Katya will share with us on what role transitions play in our life. Please help me and welcome Katya.
Thank you so much, Cindy, and welcome back. Also, thank you to Liam. I don't think he's here today, still for his support last week. And Priscilla, welcome back to you too. We missed you very much last Sunday. And good time of the day to all of you, dear friends, wherever you are on this planet. Such a privilege to be here and discuss things and reflect on things that can open that space for more reflection and self-knowledge and sharing. And today we talk about transitions, their essence and the role they play in our lives. I'm inviting you to take it to our meditation and to take to our meditation an image of crossing over, because that's what transition means in Latin. So let's do our mindful check-in. Closing your eyes and settling your body. And setting an intention to mark the beginning of this meditation. An intention can be to notice sensations arising in the body or to relax into your being a bit more, or to connect with the energy of compassion. Whatever it is, just marking that intention. And now starting to observe your breath and allowing the mind to settle. And crossing over to this space of calm, openness, possibilities. And if thoughts arise, just noticing them and coming back to that space in between what was before and what will come after. And in approaching the end of the meditation, saying thank you for this opportunity to sit together, and in your time crossing that boundary back from the inner to the outer world and opening your eyes in your own time. And welcome back. Next slide. Thank you. Yes. So like we just did in a meditation, we constantly enter spaces where the previous world ceases to exist and the new one is yet to come. In other words, transitions never stand alone. They link the past and the future. Accounts of transitions were captured well in the anthropological research of cultural rituals and the rites of passage. These are the times when the initiates go through the stages of separation from the old status or role, then a transition, and finally reincorporation into the world with a new status or role. And while the first and the last steps have more certainty to them, this in-between stage is often hard to describe or feel. The anthropologists called it a liminal state. The word comes from the Latin limen, meaning a doorway. How does it feel to go through these doorways, these in-between places, moments, and states? There is a sense of uncertainty, ambiguity, suspense, even danger at times, but also a relaxation of the old rules and ways and invitation for reinvention of reality as we know it. Next slide, Cindy, thank you. Next slide. Yep, thank you. So much potentiality, so much. That is why the research into transitions into this liminality spread from anthropology to philosophy, psychology, organizational and social studies. And the more we pay attention, the more we can recognize transitions not only as major demarcations in our lives, like graduations and marriages, but also as integral parts of daily outer and inner experiences in time and in space, like airport lounges, hot desks at work, daily commute trains, extended morning coffee on a veranda, a working from home gift as the time released from commuting to work, patiently waiting in the ATM queue, walks on the beach as we notice smell of spring in the air like this morning on the Central Coast, feeling refreshed and re-energized after holidays and retreats, but also being and feeling in and out of place as an immigrant, navigating your born and acquired cultural identity, crying with joy and pride at your child's graduation ceremony, and witnessing the disturbing election news with dangers of insurrections, scandals, unrests, and change. Whether fleeting or grand, inwardly or outwardly, imprinted in the memory in the body or going completely unnoticed, transitions are always everywhere. And when we acknowledge their presence, we enrich our lives as we learn to embrace their transformative and regenerative power individually and collectively. Next slide. Thank you, Cindy. So while the current research is a great invitation to explore the modern expressions of transitions, the Buddha opened the world to transitions 2,500 years ago, when he left home in search for enlightenment. It is then when he entered a liminal, transitional state. He stood on a threshold between the world he knew and another undiscovered one. Essentially, in betweenness, this state of transition is the Dharma's dwelling place. It is the inner state of not attaching, letting go of an idea of ever arriving to the shore of awakening. By experiencing the wandering, that uncertain state of search, the Buddha awakened to the impermanent, transitory nature of the phenomenal existence and the futility of attaching to it. Practicing the Dharma allows for learning the skill of leaving the old behind and fiercely going through the doorways of meditations and rituals, appreciating the transitions and what they prepare us for. And next slide, Cindy, thank you. So Venerable Master Sheng Yun retells the story about a princess who wanted to have a necklace made of bubbles. And asked to catch them, she realized that bubbles are like an illusion, made from the coming together of causes and conditions. And as the Diamond Sutra says, all conditioned phenomena are like dreams, illusions, bubbles, and shadows, like dew and lightning. One should contemplate them in this way. As the Master says, learning the story of the princess and the above verse from the Diamond Sutra, phenomena are transitory. So everything is in transition all the time, whether we see the boundaries and doorways from our human perspective, or we simply fall into the life's flow. And as we explore the struggles of resistance, habits, and transitions, we can see that all of these can be eased by practicing the Dharma as we learn to see and accept the impermanence of the worldly things. And so here are the questions for our reflection today. How can becoming more mindful of the daily transitional times and places open space for change and growth? What are your biggest challenges when experiencing transitions? And how can the Buddha's teaching help us better deal with both the transitions and the transitory nature of the phenomenal world? And now I will handle it over for the transition to Cindy to guide us through the transfer to our group discussions. Thank you.
Thank you, Katya, for your insights on transitions. It's giving us a lot to think about. So now it's the community's turn to discuss these questions and any thoughts you have. We will be placed in groups of 3 or 4 to share and discuss these questions. In the beginning, we do recommend spending a little time to get to know each other, just so we can all get a little more comfortable sharing and discussing the questions. Of course, let your discussions flow as they do, but we will provide a little prompts here and there to guide you. Our sessions are guided by metta, unconditional love and kindness for all beings. So let's use this opportunity to express and receive loving kindness to and from each other by taking time to pause, share, and listen. Afterwards, we will ask you to share some of your findings with the larger group. But for now, let's break out for some rich and nourishing discussions. See you all back in 15 minutes.
Welcome back, everyone. For your interest, we had quite a good discussion in our group. I hope you did in yours as well. And as we always do, you're mostly welcome to share your insights and results of the discussions in the chat box. And then our wonderful poster team will put it all together in the art form and will share with us. Transition is impermanence and part meaning of life. S for strength, A alive, and V vitality to move on, save. And E for endure hardship and appreciate the flower bloomings. And making vow can be transition such as Kshitargarbha, Bodhisattva. Make the great vow transition. Yes. Liminal space from Cecilia is a condition after a crisis. It is a necessary learning space for inciting and when we are ready with new thinking and behavior. a new world opens. Beautiful. Leaping. Transition offers opportunities for new discoveries. Yes. And David, our insights are integral, always gaining more wisdom regarding liminal spaces and transition. And Priscilla, rituals allow us the space and time to reflect on the past, the doorway, and our hope for the future. Wonderful. Please do keep writing different. And now I give it back to Cindy.
Okay, thank you. We really hope the check-in sessions was helpful to you, and we hope you experienced the unconditional love and compassion of this community. For anyone who might be experiencing a greater need than what today could meet, please don't hesitate to contact us via email. You can also reach out to the professional organizations on the screen. Some exciting announcements to share. Next week, Katya will take us on the final chapter of her sharing for the month of August. The topic will be acceptance. And another announcement, we finally get to meet all the friends we've been interacting with in the virtual world in person on Sunday, September 25th. Please register if you are planning to join the gathering. And finally, Shifang Temple here in San Diego will have their monthly TBIF, Thank Buddha It's Friday, on August 26th at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It will be 12 o'clock Saturday for Australia. Venerable Yoji, the curator of the Nantian Art Gallery, will be sharing with everyone on doodling. There will be an opportunity to do the doodling as well, so please have a black gel pen and paper ready. Yours truly will be the moderator. I hope to see everyone next week for TBIF at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. for Australia Saturday, or 10 p.m. Florida time on Friday. As we check out today, let us recite the dedication of merits together to send love and compassion to each other and whoever is in need.
Let us now dedicate the goodness of what you have done to all living beings. May kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity pervade all worlds. May we cherish and build affinities to benefit all beings. May Chan, Pure Land, and precepts inspire equality and patience. May our gratitude and humility give rise to great vows.
Thank you everyone for joining us for the check-in session. Thank you, Katya, for sharing on an interesting topic today. We look forward to next week as you take us to the last chapter of what it means to accept. Now we will continue with our usual post-check-in discussions, so please stay around for the next half an hour or so if you have time. Otherwise, we will see you again next Sunday at 11 a.m. or the time zone you are at. Thank you.